Today is Tuesday, April 1st, 2025, and this is The Continental. Cory Booker breaks the record for the longest Senate speech ever on Tuesday as he protests the Trump agenda. Meanwhile, Trump meets tariffs teams as countries call the White House for last-minute negotiations in lieu of Trump's Liberation Day on Wednesday. Trump's Labor Department secures eye-popping sum to return to taxpayers amongst the DOGE push. Lastly, several federal agencies launch a deferred resignation effort to encourage workers to leave their jobs. Let's get into it.
Ask not what America will do for you, but what together we can do for the freedom of man.
Tuesday night, Cory Booker, a senator from New Jersey, has broken the record for the longest Senate speech ever in history. When asked about his intentions for the marathon speech, he said in quote, "I rise with the intention of disrupting the normal businesses of the United States Senate for as long as I am physically able." End quote. Of note, during the marathon, the Democratic senator could not take a break by either sitting down or even using the bathroom. It's important to say that this speech was not considered a filibuster because it did not block any legislation from being passed. What impact will this marathon speech have, if at all? Did Booker really make any reasonable impact with this speech? Early this week, Trump met with his trade teams, gathering the information on tariffs that he will need to put into action come Liberation Day on Wednesday. In lieu of these meetings, many countries have contacted the White House in order to negotiate, possibly fearing the tariffs and what will come with Trump's actions. As of Tuesday night, the details of these tariffs are unknown. However, everything will come to light tomorrow in what Trump has coined Liberation Day. The European Union has said it is ready to retaliate to these tariffs, but that remains to be seen ahead of Wednesday. What will the worldwide trade landscape look like the rest of the week? Will there actually be retaliation from other nations on the US? And most importantly, how will these tariffs influence the stock markets after Wednesday? Secretary of the Department of Labor, Lori Chavez-Dreamer, said on Monday that the department would return over $1 billion of funding from earlier in the COVID times to taxpayers. There is an additional $2.9 billion that is being recovered by the U.S. Treasury Department as well. This comes all as part of DOGE's efforts to use the money more effectively. These funds were originally given to states for unemployment insurance in the earlier days of the pandemic, but they were not needed sometime in 2023. When asked for comments on the funds, Dreamer said, in quote, "There's no reason leftover COVID unemployment funds should still be collecting dust. I promised to look out for the Americans' hard-earned tax dollars, and we are delivering at the Department of Labor." End quote. So Americans are asking now, what kind of system will be used to distribute this money? Most importantly, is it only limited to some states, and will the amount be different per state? On Tuesday, 6 or more federal agencies are in the process of offering their workers a deferred resignation chance in the midst of Trump attempting to cut the size of the government. Of note, 2 of these departments are the Department of Housing and Urban Development as well as the Department of Agriculture. Astonishingly, over 75,000 workers have accepted the offer so far, according to the White House. Details of the program offer workers to stay employed through September while allowing them to agree to re-sign. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth said in a memo on Friday that, quote, "My intent is to maximize participation so that we can minimize the number of involuntary actions that may be required to achieve the strategic objectives." End quote. It's important to note that all the various agencies have different deadlines at differing times throughout April. How many more people will take the offer from the government, and what will be the effect of this? Most importantly, most Americans are asking what will be done with this money that was originally being used to pay all these workers. This is Tuesday, April 1st, 2025, and this has been The Continental. Make sure you follow us on all of our social accounts as well as subscribe to the YouTube down below to get the most pertinent news updates delivered to you every single day. Until then, we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.